This one is my second directorial. It's a story that came to me while the lockdown was going on. In fact, it is based in the lockdown. It is based during the pandemic, and it is based on isolation. Well, we're left with a couple of days of patchwork. We would have finished by now, but everything because of the pandemic and lockdown, etc., has gotten pushed. All my projects have gotten pushed and piled up. I think today's generation, they go out with a dream and they achieve it. And on the set, she's not a producer. She's just a fantastic co-actor. Hi, this is Shefali Shah, and you're watching me on ETimes.
Hi Shefali, welcome on ETimes. How are you doing?
Hi Sabina, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great as well. We are all in this lockdown right now and doing these Zoom interviews, so it's completely a different thing for all of us right now.
Yes.
But it's enjoyable. It's fun sometimes to try some new things and all. What do you have to say about this?
I prefer personal interviews.
Okay.
I am not a very hot fan about these Zoom meetings and interviews and discussions. I don't like it. I prefer personal.
Okay, and tell us about your film, Happy Birthday Mummy Ji. You directed the first film of yours. How was that experience for you altogether? And since you also said it's personally related to yourself also as your journey as well. So tell us something about it.
So Happy Birthday Mummy Ji isn't my first directorial. My first directorial is Someday, which is doing the festival circuit. It's showcasing at the Stuttgart Film Festival. And this one is my second directorial. And it's a story that came to me while the lockdown was going on. In fact, it is based in the lockdown. It is based during the pandemic, but and it is based on isolation. But it's something that I have felt even otherwise, and not just me, a lot of women have felt at various points of time in their lives. And that's where it comes from. Suchi is almost my alter ego. So that's where it came from.
Also, talking about the character and the way the role is depicted, it's quite a good one to see that, even a woman who's doing so many things, working, round the clock, trying to prep for, someone's birthday, for her mother-in-law's birthday, and still that, effort somewhere goes for toss, but she somewhere decides to give a break to her own self. So that depiction of, how a woman should, plan her own, life and, think about herself also and give a break to herself. That was quite good to see. What are your thoughts on that?
That was the purpose of the film. I mean, I think it's like a fantasy everybody has at some point of time. I mean, every time I go on a holiday, I feel, hi, kuch ho jaye, flight cancel ho jaye, and that gets extended. So it's a fantasy every woman has. And it's about getting away and giving up and letting go and just abandoning, even if it is at the cost of seeming selfish.
Shefali, you have spoken about, at length about, how you have been given such roles where you play the role of a mother. Even in the movie, with Dil Dhadakne Do, you shared up your opinion about that. So do you somewhere feel that even if you're playing the role of a mother, the characters, what you're playing is somewhere impressing a lot of people? I have watched a lot of, films of yours, and where beat Dil Dhadakne Do, beat also Delhi Crime for that matter, that attention of yours, and the character of yours, whenever you come, in the picture, it gives a different, highlight to the subject. So what are your thoughts on that?
There are a couple of questions in that, as I see. One is that I don't have a problem playing a mother. I want to play age-appropriate roles. I'm a mother. I'm a mother of an 18 and a 19-year-old. I took decisions where I played mother to Akshay Kumar, who's much older than me. I played mother to Priyanka and Ranveer, who are not my children's age. I mean, and I played age which was beyond my years. But these were important and strong characters. So I don't have a problem playing a mother. Just don't make me play a 50-year-old's mom. I'm just saying that. Secondly, unfortunately, until now, a mother was just like a supporting role in a film with a hero and a heroine. They didn't have their own standing. And all the parts that I have played, they're not just mothers, they're individual people. They are something else beyond just being moms. In fact, Happy Birthday Mummy Ji is also talking about the same thing, that we get recognized by our relationships. When it's a mother, a daughter, a daughter-in-law, a wife, a homemaker. But in the whole process, there is a person we tend to ignore. Not just people around you tend to ignore, but sometimes even you yourself tend to ignore that one person who resides within you, and who loves you probably more than anyone else ever can.
Personally, Shefali, what kind of projects attract your attention? Because, over the years, we have done a lot of good films, but what personally is your favorite?
Anything and everything that challenges me, excites me, turns me inside out. I want to do that kind of stuff. I can't pinpoint. I mean, I love love stories. I'm a hardcore romantic, but I can't pinpoint. And I also don't, I'm a greedy actor. I don't want to label, bas ye karna hai, bahut kuch karna. I want to do a lot of stuff. I want to play an alien. I mean,
that's nice to hear. Also, what do you have to say about this current change which has come because of this lockdown? A lot of films are releasing on OTT platforms as compared to theaters because, of course, there's lockdown which is taking place. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's great. The OTT platform has opened so many horizons for all creators. Of course, the tradition of going to a cinema, having samosa, sitting with your family and watching a film is never going to go away because, like I said, it's a tradition in our country. But the OTT has really opened up horizons for everyone. Your film is not just dictated by the box office collections that happen over the weekend. It's not dictated by stars. Even if it doesn't do well on the box office, it still has an opportunity, and it's for posterity on OTT. You can watch it at your convenience. You can watch it years later. And it's fantastic. And it's not about a hero and a heroine. It's about characters. It's about real stories. It's content driven. So it's great.
But at the same time, I had a conversation with Shefali Shah also, and that time he said that, we also face a lot of, losses because of this entire pandemic. It becomes quite, difficult to shoot also because you have to take permissions, then you have to get, tests done. And there is a lot of, cost cutting also which takes place. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, it is. It's not easy to shoot right now. A lot of your time goes in just doing those tests and the sanitization measures and safety measures that are taken, but that is paramount. That is indispensable right now. And I think all producers are doing it, and they're doing it very, very well, because safety is paramount, and that's what matters. And this is going to be the new way of life.
That's definitely true. But as we go forward, we are also waiting as, be it, journalist, a critic, a Bollywood journalist, we also wait for films to release on theaters and all. So what are your thoughts on that? What do you have to say on that? Because somewhere, don't you think that has somewhere, it's dying down slowly a bit because people are more attracted towards watching films now on OTT and now in that comfort zone?
I don't think it's going to die down. I said it before. It's a tradition in our country. Full family, it's a plan कि Friday को ये film release होगी, हम लोग सब Saturday को जाएंगे, पूरी family के साथ, सब friends के साथ समोसे खाएंगे, picture देखेंगे. So it's like a family event. So I don't think it's going to go away. I mean, whenever the theaters start, I would love to go to a theater. I'm not sure whether I will be very comfortable with it, given the present scenario, but I'm sure it's something people are looking forward to. Having said that, in fact, I think if anything saved our sanity through the lockdown was OTT.
That's true.
Otherwise we would have gone crazy. We wouldn't have had any kind of entertainment.
That's definitely true. But also when the films are released on OTT, there is this censor board which, comes in the picture with a lot of restrictions for bold roles, or there is a kind of if there are some scenes, sex scenes or like that, they do come into picture for such things. What are your thoughts on that? Do you somewhere feel that now that we are growing, content wise, there should be, a kind of, thin line, or, if you're trying to depict a certain character, or, it's about rape, or it's about, a certain scene where we have to show, of course, there is, adult related content also. So in that case, what are your thoughts on that? Do you somewhere feel that, of course, there should be freedom given for certain, sections and all, and of course, there are ratings and all for that?
Creative freedom is necessary, but because you brought up the situation of rape, Delhi Crime is about Nirbhaya, and they did not show it. It requires a lot of sensitivity. With freedom comes responsibility. And it's a combined responsibility of not just the creators or the platform, but even the audience to make the right choice. And yes, they do have that choice to make. Nobody's put a gunpoint on anyone's head and said, watch this. But it's also a responsibility of creator to not do something to offend anybody's emotions and feelings.
And as we talk about Delhi Crime, when is the second season coming? Because that is something we all are like geared up, and it was a good one. The first season was so good that even my mother loved it, and she was like, "Oh, this is the kind of show we should watch and all." And when I told her about, I'm doing an interview with you, she was very excited. She's like, "Oh, you're doing with her, and she's done such a good role, in such a lot of movies and all." So of course, there's this excitement for the second season. When is that coming?
Well, we're left with a couple of days of patchwork. We would have finished by now, but everything because of the pandemic and lockdown, etc., has gotten pushed. All my projects have gotten pushed and piled up. So we'll be doing that soon. And then, of course, the post-prod and then the release. I don't have a release date. I'm equally eager and excited and waiting to hear when it's going to be released.
Thank you so much for your time. And before I let you go, what are the upcoming projects you're working on, Shefali?
So I'm doing Human, which is a series, a web series, which is directed by Vipul Shah and Moses Singh. I am doing Darlings, which is produced by Red Chilies, directed by Jasmeet Prem, which has a fantastic team, which has Alia and Roshan Matthew and Vijay Varma. Then I'm going on to Dr. G, directed by Anubhuti and Ayushman and Rakul and Richa, and it's an interesting cast. It's a very sweet film. And then I do the patchwork of DC and one or two projects that I'm in discussions with, but once it's finalized, we'll talk about.
Talking about Darlings, this is Alia Bhatt's first production. So what do you have to say on that? Because, she's producing this movie and it's her first film. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's very enterprising. I think today's generation, they go out with a dream and they achieve it. And on the set, she's not a producer. She's just a fantastic co-actor. And we have great fun working together.
And Dr. G, since you're working with Ayushman Khurrana and he's done a lot of good films, how was that experience so far for you?
I haven't started work on it.
Okay, you have not started. Like the script, he started shooting already. So
Yes.
your scenes have been not shot.
I've not yet joined them, no.
Okay, so and how was it after you read the script? Can you elaborate further on that?
It's a very sensitive, sweet, social drama, funny film. And it's an ensemble cast. And I really like the script and I wanted to be a part of it.
Thank you so much for your time and all the best for your projects, and hope we meet physically and do an interview.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Serena.